Today on the podcast, we are joined by a returning guest, the very wonderful Kat Ferguson. Last year she had signed for Movistar, and this weekend she made her debut for them. And what a debut that was! Second in her first professional elite race, and what a way to begin, really. We talk about her career, the recent Junior Track World Championships, and much more, so sit back and enjoy. And if you like this, then please check out all the other interviews that we've done. They're all amazing and have a great place in my heart. Please also give this a like so more people get a chance to see it, and consider subscribing so you see all our latest episodes as soon as they're released. Hi, good morning. Thank you so much for joining me. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm good, thanks. Thank you very much for having me.
I'm always glad to chat with you. I really enjoyed last time, so yeah. Let's start with obviously what's changed since last year. When we last spoke, you signed with Movistar, but you were still first year junior, so you're not riding for them yet. But this year you can join from start of August. It's now the start of September, so you're officially Movistar. How does it feel?
Yeah, it's great. I've got the kit now, so every so often when I've done the washing, I put my kit on, and yeah, I love wearing it. I got my first race for them this weekend actually, which is something I've looked forward to pretty much since I signed with them, which seems like it was a while ago now. Like it was last sort of about a year and a half ago that I actually signed for them. So to actually now get to race for them is something that I really look forward to. So yeah, I'm super excited.
Yeah, and how are you feeling about that? Because obviously it's your first race, as a pro. You've done, domestic premier races and like elite, like Lincoln and things like that. But this is your first like proper pro race. How do you feel in advance of that?
Yeah, both nervous and excited. As you said, I've done some like domestic races with elite women, but I've never done anything internationally. And I think when I stepped up to junior and I raced abroad, I really noticed the difference between the races in the UK and the races abroad. And I think I'll probably find that for the elite category as well. So it's something that I'm really excited for. Like it's new territory, something that I'm not sure how it'll work out. New competitors. So yeah, it's something I'm so excited for, and I'm so ready to sort of learn how the whole pro racing works.
Yeah, and like the team you're joining, like that lineup is stacked on its own. Like you've got Laura and Lucia Ruiz, you've got Shayla Gutierrez, I can't remember which country she represents. I want to say Puerto Rico. Oh, okay. And then there's Yelena Erich and Emma Norsgaard, who's won a Tour de France stage. Like, does that add the pressure to you, or does it like take pressure off because you're like, well, we've got massive hitters in the squad. I can just sort of not get round, but you know what I mean. Like,
Mm-hmm.
take it at your own pace.
Yeah, I'm not sure actually. I only saw who was going to the race yesterday when I got sent my travel plan. So I think it's yeah, it's going to be really exciting. I'm really happy that, like you say, we've got people like Emma in the team. She's got so much experience, and I think for my first race, it's great that I can race with someone like her. As in, she leads the team when it's like you say the Tour de France. So for me to be able to race with her in a race like this, yeah, I think it's incredible for me for a learning experience.
Yeah. Have your team told you anything to expect for the race, or are they just so far you've got your travel plan and that's it, and you'll find out more when you get there?
Yeah, so far it's just I got my travel plan and I'll find out more when I get there, which is I don't know whether I should be excited for or nervous for. Hopefully they're not like, get yourself in the early breakaway and I'm out the front of the race all day, but I'm sure it'll be just do what you can because obviously they're not sure and I'm not sure what it's I'm capable of.
Yeah, of course. And like, how's the year been in general? Like, because obviously you signed last year, so normally that second year junior rush to get a contract didn't happen for you because you'd already got one sorted. Did that change how you raced at all? Like, did it make you go, "Oh, I've got I've got to prove my worth every time because, everyone's looking at me? Or do you go, well, I've got nothing to lose because I've already got the contract. I can almost like just poodle around.
Yeah, I think it definitely took some pressure off this year, which was really nice. Like you say, most of the junior girls were looking to get good results and to get a contract for a team, whereas I was happy and secure and felt like, yeah, I was racing and I wanted good results, but it wasn't to for a team. It was just purely for me. So in that sense, it took a lot of pressure off because if I got a good result, great. That's what I've been working hard for, and I'll be happy with that. But if I didn't get a good result, it's not the end of the world because I'm happy and I'm secure and I've got a team sorted. So yeah, it definitely has been a massive help this year, especially in things like stage races. Like
Mm.
it's allowed me to actually race the stage race instead of stressing all the time that, oh, if I relax on this stage and go in for an easy finish to protect my legs for the next day, it's going to look bad on my first cycling. So yeah, it's been super nice.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of first cycling, I had a cheeky look last night just to refresh it, and your record this year's not been half bad, um, I think I don't think there was anything where you're not on the podium on there for the whole year. Um, and for a while, the only time you'd been beaten was by a teammate. And I think there's only 3 races where that didn't happen, to be fair. Like you either won or a teammate won and you came second. Like that's a pretty handy record to have.
Yeah, no, I think it's great. I love going on at the minute. I'll be enjoying the last few days of it looking like that because I'm sure when I hit the first races with Movistar over the next 3 weeks, it's not going to be looking so good. But yeah, it's been a really good year and consistency has been there, I think. And yeah, that gives me a lot of confidence in the races because I know that it's not just a one-off that I've had a good result. I've back to back proven that I can be on the podium. So yeah, I'm super happy with how the year's gone.
Yeah, I mean, last time we talked, you said like how as a sort of reduced bunch sprints seem to favour you. But looking at those results, you've got hilly classic type stages like the two in the Basque Country, which I'm not going to try and pronounce the race name, but they were hilly and they're known for the kind of rampas in Humanis. You've got like a mountain stage in the Gévaudan. Um, like you can almost do everything. Um, do you find that hard to kind of narrow down your abilities, or are you happy being kind of good at everything at this stage, and you'll decide where your heart lies in terms of parkour, like later on?
Yeah, I think it's super good to be versatile as a junior. Like, not you don't want to sort of narrow your options down too early. So I think for me, looking at my year, it's been great that I've managed to have successes in hilly races, in some time trials, in some sprints. I think that's really great. And I'm not yet sure what my sort of rider type is, but I think going into sort of next year when I'm racing with the pros, I think that's when I can sort of maybe look to see where my real strengths lie. I think at junior it is possible to sort of do everything, be good or at the best at hills, time trials, sprints. You can sort of do that, but I think when you step up, it's not possible to do that, and I think that's when it's time to really like capitalize on your strengths and find your rider type.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And obviously, going back to kind of your record with teammates winning and things like that, how does it actually make you like relative to how happy you are winning, like, does it make you more or less happy when you see people like Imogen and Karis winning, where you've helped that, or like whether that's through disrupting the chase or just being able to do a lead out for them?
Yeah, for sure. I think this year it's been nice that I've had good results, but it's also been so nice to see that the people around me, the people who I'm closest to, have also had the results that they deserve. Like last year, Imogen and Karis, they worked hard for me on some races, and it's something that you can almost never really pay back until the time around comes for me to work for them. So yeah, I've been for them to get their results this year, and for those results to be, yeah, what they needed to get contracts with good teams has been one of the highlights of my year, and something that I couldn't have ever really like planned for or like imagined to sort of be like on the podium with like my best friends at the biggest stage at a junior bike race.
Yeah, because obviously, well, speaking of contracts, Imogen's as of yet unannounced, but Karis has been announced for Movistar to be joining you.
Mhm.
Obviously, it would be nice to have, I get a fellow junior and a friend who's come up through the system with you. Um, and you make quite a sprint pairing, given that at Borsela, you took the time trial by some margin, something like 10 seconds over quite a short course. And then you you two got two 1-2s, I guess. If that isn't too confusing to say. So are you hoping to be kind of linking up like that at Movistar, or what are your ambitions when riding kind of together?
Yeah, I mean, it'd be insane if we could carry that on and always get a 1-2 in a race, but I don't think that's going to happen in the next couple of years. But yeah, I think to have Karis with me is really special. Like, stepping up to Movistar is a little bit scary. Like, it's a new team, new people. It's very Spanish. So to have her with me is great. And I mean, I've been friends with Karis. I've known Karis for I don't know 5 years. I've been doing Madison with her since like we won our first national title together in like 2021. And I've been doing it ever since. So it's a bit crazy that we're both going to the same professional team together. A bit of a dream come true, and I'm so happy for her that she's coming with me.
Yeah, and funnily you should mention the Madison. I remember the Herne Hill race and seeing clips from that where a handling didn't quite go as planned. Um,
Yeah.
Talk us through like what happened.
hmm Yeah, so I say that me and Karis have been doing Madison together for 4 years, but I wouldn't say that we're exactly. Well, it's me actually. I'm not very good at actually the like change over the sling in Madison. I have a bit of like a funny arm. It like goes up instead of going over like it should. Like if you like bowling a ball, that's how it should work. But I tend to like almost bowl like a cricket ball.
Mm.
So, but in this case, it wasn't entirely my fault. I would say Karis came down from the resting rider a little bit too slow, so our speed difference was like crazy. So when I slinged her, and I've already got a dodgy sling, my foot unclipped, and then thankfully I did manage to save it. But it was a bit of a low point in our Madison career. But I mean, made a good video out of it, and it did quite well on Instagram. So I'm not complaining.
Yeah, I mean, do you have time when that's happening? Like, are you conscious of it and thinking, "Oh my God, I'm going to stack it," or do you just do what you can to stay upright and then kind of end up thinking about it afterwards?
Yeah, to be honest, I didn't think about it until after the race. It sort of just happened, and then I was like, "Oh, well, I've not crashed," and then I carried on, and we won the race. And then afterwards, everyone was like, because it was right by the finish, so everyone saw it. Everyone was like, "Whoa, whoa!" And I got showed the video, and I was like, "Yeah." So, it's not something that you really think about until afterwards.
No, and honestly, like I know I've done it similar. Like I've never done a Madison, but I've done like
hmm
grass track racing. I
Yeah.
remember lunging for the line, and anyone who does road racing, if you lunge for a line, you lock your legs. But
hmm
in grass track and with a
Yeah.
fixed wheel bike, you can't really get away with that, and you end up kind of you either crash or you learn very quickly that you need to keep pedaling.
yeah.
Um, like the pros make track riding look so easy and effortless. I guess that in itself is a skill. Um, but yeah, obviously you did that Madison, and you were scheduled to do the Madison at World Juniors, which was a very successful time, I believe, for the British girls. Um, what was your perspective of it? Because you got gold in the TP and team pursuit for those who don't know,
hmm
and a world record of like 4 minutes 20 or something insane. Which I look at, I think that would have been a pretty handy result in the seniors at the Olympics in 2016. Um, which I mean is 8 years ago, but still to be on a senior level at any level, at any stage is remarkable. Um, and then you got a gold in the Omnium. Karis and was it Erin got gold in the Madison, and
Yeah.
Imogen got a gold in the individual pursuit. So everyone got two golds as well.
hmm
Like, yeah, what was that experience like racing in China and yeah, getting such a gold rush almost?
Yeah, it's crazy actually. There's so much to say about the week at Track Worlds, from going to a new country in China, which was mental. It was so cool. To everything that happened in the races and how good us four did in all the races. I think for me, it was a really tough week on my Omnium day. I think I've never really had to push myself that much mentally almost.
Hmm.
Like the Omnium is already such a challenging event. It's like a whole day basically just being nervous, waiting for the next race and the next race. And I had a pretty bad crash in the elimination, which is the third race. So there's the points race to go, which is the basically where everything can change and move around. So it's the big one. Um, but yeah, I came down hard in the elimination, and immediately felt that my shoulder was feeling funny. I got back up and I was in pain, but I carried on. I managed to win the elimination as well, which was quite crazy. And then after, literally almost as soon as I'd finished that final sprint, like it was like agony, like really, really searing pain. And I like sat up a little bit and I felt my shoulder pop. And that's when, yeah, it popped back into place. So I think I partially dislocated it. And then after that, it was like only an hour between the elimination and the points race. So I had about an hour to try and like regather myself, go see the medic, actually check that I could race, clean up like all my wounds. Didn't have time to put a new skin suit on. So in the points race, I was like, yeah, you should see my skin suit now. Like it's basically, yeah, you wouldn't want to even wear it on the street. It's got so many holes in it. But yeah, so I think that day was, yeah, a highlight, but also something that I'm, yeah, really proud of, that I managed to almost go through that, because yeah, I've never experienced anything quite like that.
Yeah, I mean, it shows a great degree of mental fortitude. Like, how did the points race go? Were you like, obviously you're in agony because of your shoulder, but how
hmm
does it change how you approach it? Do you go, oh, I better just, you know, hang in there and survive? Or do you try and be aggressive to give yourself almost wriggle room so if something does go wrong, you're still going to get a good result?
Yeah, I think initially my plan in the points race would have been to be a bit more aggressive to try and get a few more points. But after the elimination, it was almost just like I just needed to do it and do the minimum I could, to make sure that I kept the win. Um, so yeah, the tactics really changed, and it was just literally all about making sure I don't let anyone who could take the lead by gaining a lap go off the front, and getting some points, but not doing anything crazy. Mainly just staying at the front, avoiding any other crashes, and yeah, trying to do the minimum to keep the lead. I was lucky because I already had quite a big points lead. I think it was like 15 points on second place.
Hmm.
So if I hadn't have had that, I think I would have had to do something different. But yeah, I was grateful for it, because I was in a bit of a mess. So yeah.
Yeah, more than understandable. I'm guessing that the decision to pull out the Madison came pretty quickly after. Like it wasn't a oh, I'll see how I feel in the morning. It was a kind of oh yeah, I'm not doing the Madison.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like, I mean, I knew basically after my elimination that I wasn't doing the Madison, but obviously that wasn't in my mind. But after the points race, I was in anti-doping, and PJ, the coach, was like, "Yeah, you're not doing the Madison," which at the time I wasn't even like that gutted about, because I just knew that it was, yeah, totally out of the question. There was no way that I'm doing it, and yeah, the whole weekend, I was okay with it. I was so happy that Erin and Karis managed to win, and yeah, there was not a feeling of like FOMO almost, because it for me it was like, yeah, there's no way I could have done it.
Yeah, of course. And how was the team pursuit? Because like that. I've spoken to some of the pros who do it, like Meg Barker, who was like the reserve for the Olympics, and it's so intricate. Like, is it planned to the nth degree in juniors, or is it a bit more kind of less structured? I guess is what I'm trying to ask. Like, how is it for you?
I would say it is probably planned, maybe not quite as much as them, but yeah, it's extremely probably the most controlled thing ever in a bike sort of race. Like I don't know how many times I've done team pursuit with Erin Karras and Imogen over the last year, but I wouldn't like to put a number on it. So yeah, we have it all planned, like our turn lengths, when Karis is going to bail, everything's planned. And I think the ride we did at Worlds, I mean, it wasn't the qualifying and the first round definitely weren't our best ever rides. A lot happened that we didn't think would happen. But yeah, we managed to pull it together and put everything correctly into place for the final, which we got the world record in. Yeah, and I think all year we'd struggle. Like at Euros, we weren't where we wanted to be. We got beat by the Germans and came second. But yeah, we weren't quite on form. So I think our ride at Worlds was something that we'd worked so hard for all year. So it was incredible to become world champions and also get the world record.
Yeah, and do you reckon you could have gone quicker, or was that like the absolute limit of your capacity at this stage?
I think that we couldn't have gone quicker. I think in the final ride that we did, everything was right. So yeah, I think that was at our best, and yeah, we got a world record. So we can't be any happier.
Nice. And what actually is your role within that team then? Because obviously you said Karis is the nominated Bale woman, but
Hmm.
things happen in races. Like someone might be on bad legs. Like, what's your typical role within a team pursuit?
Yeah, so I'm P4, so that means that when we do a standing start, I'm the one at the top that goes last. And normally P3 and P4's sort of role to do like the longer turns, because P1 and P2 have got to like absorb the start, which is
Hmm.
quite a taxing effort, and you don't really recover from it the whole effort. So Karis goes P1, and that's why she normally bails because she has to do the start, which takes a lot out of you, and then she'll do another turn, and then that'll be her gone. And like you say, it is a bit risky to have a planned bail, but we've done it so many times that we know that she always goes then, and normally no one else needs to bail. And if you do, then you shout hold, which means the person on the front needs to slow down. So yeah, it's extremely planned and detailed, and everyone knows their role and responsibilities.
Oh, awesome. Um, are you thinking more like in terms of future? Are you going to be doing more track? Are you thinking road is where your heart lies? Even cyclocross, which we haven't talked about yet. Like, where is Cat Ferguson's future?
To be honest, I'm not sure. Just as much as you, yeah, I've got no idea. I think for certain road is something that I'll always continue with. Track and cross are unknown to me. I'm not sure whether if I could, I would do them all. I would love to do
Hmm.
all three forever. But I just don't think it's possible. And also with cyclocross now being in the Olympics in 2030 adds another thing into the mix that I've got to try and figure out and work out what I want to do. So yeah, it's obviously a nice position to be in. If I could do all three, I would love to. But yeah, I don't think it probably is possible. But I would probably then spread myself a little bit too thin. So I think I've got to sort of pick and choose, and whether that means that I continue doing all three, but one year I focus on track more than cross, and then the next focus on cross more than track. Maybe I'll do that. But yeah, I definitely for sure I'll be doing more than one discipline.
Yeah. So is that saying that next year or next cross season, which is not very long away? I mean, there's been some cross races already. Are we going to see the Movistar kit in a cyclocross field, which feels very unusual? I mean, Johan Jacobs of the men's team, he does a bit, but I wouldn't say he's the most prominent rider. Um, but yeah, are we going to be seeing Movistar colours? You know, hopefully mixing it up around podium places in a crossfield.
Yeah, for sure. That is definitely going to happen this year. I think my cross season will be quite late and not too long, but there'll be quite a lot of races in that period. Probably starting the 14th of December, I think, is the first race I'm going to do. And hopefully I'll go all the way to around Worlds. Um, yeah, definitely that's going to happen. I'm sure on like the near future, it's just beyond that. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, because obviously, firstly, that shoulder has to recover. Like, how is that feeling? 'Cause I meant to ask earlier and sort of missed that gap. Like, how is your shoulder?
Yeah, my shoulder's good. I can pretty much do anything on the bike. Like I've been on the TT bike, it's all fine. It's just sort of my range of motion is fine going forwards, but like moving backwards, that's when it gets a little bit painful. So like gym has taken a bit of a hit. I've not done much gym, but other than that, it's fine. And in the minute, I'm just doing some like exercises to sort of strengthen the muscles around my joint and my shoulder, and then hopefully, yeah, I can resume normal training after probably Road Worlds.
Oh, nice. And yeah, what's the rest of the season looking like? Obviously, Road Worlds. And then what are your plans for next year? Do you know any sort of races you'd like to go to? Have Movistar told you anything? And where are you at currently with that?
Yeah, so I'm racing this weekend in France for Movistar for the first time, and then I've got three more races with no two more races with them before World. So this weekend in France, and then Germany the week after, and then Belgium for a 2 day stage race the week after that, and then Road World. So I've got quite a lot of races in the next sort of 4 months, but have taken a bit of a break from like road racing and doing quite a bit of track recently. So I think yeah, it's good to sort of do some races with the team before hopefully Road Worlds, and then after that, I think I've got two more races with them, and then off season. So yeah, lots to look forward to.
Goodness. And I guess, going into next season, what would you go, oh yeah, that's success. Like, what are you hoping to achieve in the following season? That's your kind of your debut as a pro.
Yeah, I think it's difficult for me to know um, what to expect in the pro races, but I think it'll mainly be like learning, doing my job for the team. Yeah, and I'll be happy with however my first race goes, and from then on, as long as I'm sort of doing my responsibilities and my role for the team, then yeah, I'll be happy with that. And then sort of looking towards Road Worlds, yeah, I would love. I can't tell you how much I would love to win another rainbow jersey, especially on the road. It's something that yeah, I probably think about every day, like crazy amount ever since Worlds in Glasgow last year, and sort of every Worlds has been like cross Worlds, road Worlds. I've come away with silver medals, and I've won some jerseys on the track now, which has been insane. But yeah, road Worlds is something so special to me, and I'm gonna put everything I've got into that race.
Oh, nice. And I guess, yeah, as a sort of topper to that, like, if you could win any race, like outside of Road Worlds, so when you get to being pro and full time, so I guess you could include Road Worlds as a senior, but like, what would be your dream race to win and take victory at?
I think for me it would be the Olympics.
Okay.
Um, I've just been crazy into sport ever since I was a little girl. Like I've pretty much done every single sport, and the Olympics was always something that I was like, yeah, I want to go to. I was never sure what sport, but then I found cycling, and yeah, so I think the Olympics, it's just so special. It's only every 4 years. Everyone watches it. It's not just for cyclists. It's for everyone. So I think the Olympics for sure.
Oh, nice. Well, I wish you all the best with the rest of your season. obviously we did your socials last time, but for anyone who missed that interview, can you recap like how to find you on social media should they want to?
Yeah, so I'm mainly on Instagram. My username is Cat Ferguson, and the O is a zero on the sun on Ferguson.
Yep. Well, that's going to be on screen as we talk now in the final video, so people can have a look and see how to find you. Um, and yeah, I wish you all the best at Choralis Fourmies, which I've probably mispronounced.
No, good.
Oh, lovely. Um,
Yeah,
and yeah, I wish you all the best for the season to come as well.
thank you. Thanks very much for having me.
Well, there you go. That was a lovely episode with Kat. As I said, she's always great to chat to, and we enjoyed it quite a lot. Even the kind of news that I think skipped me by was about cyclocross being in the Olympics. I believe that's kind of semi-official. I don't really know for sure, but certainly if it's in planned for the Winter Games, it's going to be hugely exciting to see in 2030. And until next time, we'll see you around.